Diversity is having a seat at the table. Inclusion is having a voice. Belonging is having that voice heard. Liz Fosslien. What is a seat at the table? When CEDI refers to a seat at the table, here is what we mean. Who holds power and who does not hold power? Whose voices are included and not included in making decisions? Who is making decisions, and who do those decision makers represent, and who do they not represent? Introducing Astra Garner. Astra is the Vice President of Culture and Inclusion for ReDiscover. She identifies as African American and prefers the pronouns she, her, hers. Astra is a wife and a mom of 2 girls. She is a disruptor who believes strongly in mentorship and positive self-talk. Her favorite quote is from Eleanor Roosevelt: "No one can make you feel inferior without your consent." And a famous person she would love to meet is Michelle Obama. A seat at the table.
Historically, when we talk about inclusion, we often use a metaphor of having a seat at the table. And while it's well-intentioned and I totally understand it, I have a bit of a reaction to that metaphor because I'm reminded of a time when my daughter started kindergarten and her teacher called one day to inform me that she was helping her in class. She came around next to her and was crouched down by her. And as she squirmed in her seat and just really struggled to pay attention, the teacher said, "Are you uncomfortable?" And my daughter said yes, and maintenance was called and the desk was adjusted and it was more comfortable for my daughter and there weren't any other problems following that. What I've learned from this is that desk was set at a height that was suitable for the average kindergarten child in America. While my child, who was born at 28 weeks, weighing 2 pounds and 7 ounces, was not average. Even at that time, she was still very petite for a kindergarten child. And so oftentimes what we think is best or maybe a one-size-fits-all approach truly doesn't fit all. When I think more about this experience, I'm reminded of how fortunate we were that we were able to call maintenance and get them in to adjust the desk immediately and ensure my daughter's success from that point on. So when we talk about inclusion and psychological safety within organizations, one of the questions I often ask is, what good does it do to have a seat at the table if you're not willing to make any adjustments to ensure my comfort, to ensure my success? It's more than just having a seat at the table. It's about being open-minded, being willing to come around and crouch down next to our employees and our teams to see the world from their point of view and to really help make them as successful as they can so that your team can ultimately be as successful as they can be. There is no one-size-fits-all approach. My daughter was fortunate to have a teacher who was very in sync and aware of her needs, and so this was something that was addressed in the moment, but organizationally this is something that could take quite some time. And so really wanting to make sure that we are aware of what it means to truly have psychological safety for our employees and to truly be an inclusive workplace.
As humans, we are all unique based upon where we come from and where our ancestors come from. Let's understand where people are coming from and make adjustments accordingly so that we create trauma-informed and inclusive organizations. Who is at the table? Who is the table made for? Are all voices being heard and valued? How is everyone at the table feeling? Does everyone feel safe at the table? How do we know? Does everyone feel connected at the table? How do we demonstrate respect for those at the table? Is everyone's voice valued and significant at the table? Thank you for considering these questions. Now, who will you engage within this conversation?